Hey everybody, it is Gerda here from Private Practice Success. Today I want to share with you a really interesting observation. As part of what I do as a business coach and mentor, I have the privilege of speaking to quite a number of allied health group private practice owners. And I continue to just be surprised and amazed with the ability of group practice owners to build a business with very little business knowledge and skills. No, they're not finding it easy. They're actually finding it terribly challenging, but they're still doing it. But what tends to happen is this: they are so good at learning the stuff that they need to know, implementing just enough, implementing at just the right level, implementing just in the nick of time, that they are able to hold it all together, often for 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5, 6, 7 years, until finally things start to unravel. And that is normally when I get to speak to them. I find that people very rarely come to me when things are going well. I think I've built up a bit of reputation as a problem solver within the allied health industry, in that I'm really good at looking at somebody's practice and going, this is the missing pieces and this is what you need to fix it. Let's do that. And I see that time and time again. And again, I take my hat off at group practice owners that start a group private practice with very little business knowledge. I mean, I've done it myself and I know how hard it is. And it often means that what happens is that you have to learn through trial and error. And I can most certainly tell you, hand on the heart, that that is not the fun, exciting, or rewarding even way to learn. It is the hard way to learn. And what I find is that a lot of practice owners, even though they have built what from the outside look like seemingly successful group practices, have skipped over some very important fundamental business concepts. And that is when they come to me. And often I need to go, I know what you want is growth, but we need to take 2 steps backwards. And it's only once we've done that, in other words, fixed these pieces that needs to be fixed, re-input what is not there, fill the holes. Once we've done that, we have growth that happens in leaps and bounds. And people are always surprised at the ongoing compounding growth that their practices have once they've actually taken the time to work on those fundamentals that they very often didn't even know they've skipped over. Right? So I want to encourage you not to wait until things start to unravel, because that's not pleasant and it's not good for the ego. And it's really, really tough emotionally having to deal with an unraveling business. So I thought what I might do is give you a very basic overview of the stages of private practice business to really help you ascertain where you're at and what you need to focus on during one of those essential stages. So there is basically 4 stages of business ownership within the allied health private practice industry. Now, don't confuse these stages with the 5 levels of private practice development. So level 1 is your startup practice. Level 2 is your step-up practice. Level 3 is your expanding practice. Level 4 is your successful, aka very demanding private practice. And level 5 is your ultimate private practice. So that is the levels, right? But today I want to talk about the stages of business ownership. Now, I'm not going to go into the detail around the definition for each of those stages. If you want more information on that, let me know, email me, reach out to me, and I can send you a separate video where I talk you through that, because that's actually really detailed as well. Today, what I want to do, however, is tell you about those 4 stages in that business ownership. And then I really want to hone into one specific stage, because I often see that this is where practice owners come to me, and these are the things that they need most help with. So let's have a look at this then. The first stage is the clinician stage. So this is basically before you even become a practice owner. Then when you start your practice, you become a business owner. As your business starts to grow, you step into that small business CEO role, and then ultimately you become what I call an impact entrepreneur. Now, as I said, this is clinician stage, business owner stage. This would be your level 1 and level 2 practice. The CEO stage, this is your level 3 and level 4 practices, and your impact entrepreneur is your level 5 private practice. So that is those 5 levels of private practice development I have just taken you through. Okay, so today I want to specifically speak about the CEO stage. So that is this one over here. Alrighty, that's the one that we're going to look at. So within that stage, there's 3 parts where people really struggle with, and that is the following. People come to me struggling with team, money, and time. All right. Why do they struggle with it? Because these are essential foundational pieces that needs to be put in place properly in order for them to build what is called the ultimate private practice, which is level 5 here. So let's look at team, for example, right? When it comes to team, people need to make really important and smart decisions around the right business model for their private practice. Do they want to have room rental? Do they want to have a facilities agreement? Do they want to have employees? Do they want to have contractors? Do they want a hybrid model where some of these things are combined? So that is an important piece of information that they need to decide on and they need to implement. And I can tell you just with that part, there's so much stuff that can go wrong. And a lot of people just go, oh, I'll just choose employees or I'll just choose contractors. And they throw all these things together thinking that this is going to last long term. No, if it is going to start unraveling if you do not build this model properly, if you don't know what your profit margins are. And that's why it's linked to money, right? We're still talking team, but it's linked to money. Do you know what the minimum amount of contributions to OPEX is that you need to run a contractor model, to run an employee model? Do you have systems and policies around making hiring decisions and making offer decisions in terms of how much you're going to pay people? There's so much stuff that comes into it. So when we talk about team, it's the model, it's the strategies, but it's also the mindset. Do you know how important it is to have the right mindset when you're recruiting? People are making mistakes every day recruiting out of desperation, and they come to me months afterwards needing to fix it because they just can't pay their bills because they didn't look at all the variables that impact those hiring decisions. Then, of course, you've got the money. This is where that profitable private practice mindset comes in, right? How to make decisions about what it is that you need to charge your clients. What does those fees need to be, right? How to manage your diary in order to optimize the use of money and money flowing through your business. And of course, that links to KPIs and deliverables. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And then, of course, time. Time is such a big one. The majority of practice owners I work with are women, and the majority of them are parents. They've got kids. I had kids growing my private practice. I had my son who is turning 17 in December this year. I had him in December, and April the next year, I opened up my very first solo private practice. And then when I had my youngest son, who is now 12, I had him in March, and in April of that year, I opened up my second location, which was my then Kapalaba practice, which is today in Cleveland, and it's my child and adolescent practice. I know all about the freaking juggle, and I know all about what it feels like to be time poor, not only as a mom and as a parent that want to give quality time to my kids, but also as somebody that is extremely driven to help as many people as possible with mental health difficulties, and therefore having to build this business that I call my group private practice, which is the psych professionals, if you weren't aware. It is my absolute purpose in this world to help as many people as possible in the best and most efficient, most effective way. And that means that I need to look after my team, I need to have the money sorted, and I need to have the time to work on the business, right? So important. And therefore you need to know, what is your non-negotiables? What does your static diary look like? How does your week look? When do you become involved? When don't you? What is your boundaries? How do you delegate effectively? There's so much stuff that goes into this CEO stage of being the business owner that allows you to successfully navigate through a level 3 and 4 private practice in order to get to level 5, where your practice can run in your absence. Now, I can tell you it is possible because I've done it. Okay, I've done it. I live 7 hours drive away from the physical location of my group private practices. I spend 1 hour a week supporting my practice principal via a Zoom virtual meeting to help her with coaching and mentoring, because she's running my practice. That's the extent of my involvement in my group private practice. And you can have that as well. Like, if you don't want to be hands-off like that, you don't need to be. That's just what I wanted to do, because that allowed me to fulfill my mission and my purpose that I've just said, which is to help more people in more efficient ways. And by having a practice that can run in my absence, I can do this stuff. I can talk to you. I can help you build an amazing practice that can help as many people as possible, whilst not burning you out, whilst not pushing you to take out a second mortgage on your house because you can't keep your bills and you want to make sure that you can pay your team, right? I can tell you now, it can be done. It can be done. People are doing it every day, but you need to know what to focus on. And that is where a business coach or mentor like myself comes in. So if you can self-identify that the following things, team, money, and time, is for you, then I strongly encourage you to reach out to me, because my 12-week coaching and mentoring program called Ignite Your Practice specifically addresses those 3 issues. We kick off Ignite Your Practice looking at how to improve your cash flow. Secondly, we look at how to fill your diary. And that looks after this bit over here. It looks after the money section. Then we move into time. We're going to look at how to reclaim your time and how to retain your clients, not only you, but your entire team. Then we also look at your team, both in terms of recruiting new talent, but also empowering them and retaining them. So if you know that you need help in any of those 3 parts of your business, whether it's team, money, or time, or maybe it's all 3, there's no judgment. Ignite Your Practice is probably what you need right now. So reach out to me and I can send you all the details. This is the last cohort for this calendar year. Next year, the investment amount will be going up, because Ignite Your Practice has run 3 times this year, and every time it has completely sold out. So it is 100% amazing value for money. People are getting awesome results. So all you need to do is flick me an email. Best email to get me on is Gerda M. Fumala at private-practice-success.com. And I will send you all the information and we will get you in. It does have one-on-one sessions with me as well, but I'm not going to give you all the information here. Email me, I'll send you the details, and let's get this sorted for you, and let's get you on track to build your very own ultimate private practice. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.